All right, we're Baker and Molasses at the movies. Tonight we're at El Melvin, which is a beautiful Mexican restaurant in honor of the guy's uncle.
Grandfather.
Yes,
fabulous.
He was someone's uncle too, I'm sure.
Yes, that's right. Good save.
Yes. Anyway, we have smoke coming out of our ears from the salsa, but it's good.
Good.
And we want to let's talk about A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood first. Let's go chronological when they came out.
Wow.
Okay, so I loved it. It's in my top 5 for the year. I was extremely moved. There's some scenes in there that I've just never experienced before in a film. And Tom Hanks, God love him, was great. And so was the lead.
Reese.
Yes.
The English actor.
Yeah.
He was in that show.
The Americans.
Yeah, but there was a show years ago. It was a TV show. Sally Field was on it too. Look it up. It's a fabulous show.
Matthew Reese.
He plays I think he's played at Kennedy's. He really has that ability.
Yeah, he was amazing too.
He was stunning. So you saw things they never saw before, which is so interesting to say.
Yeah.
In terms of the forgiveness or the arc and
the whole arc and the magical realism they threw in there with the dream sequence. It was just gorgeous movie.
With the little rabbit with that essence of.
It was just beautiful.
I saw it this morning.
Really?
Last night I saw, because I'm cramming for exams here. I got the teacher, so I saw Bombshell at night.
Yeah.
I saw The Ladies at night, and then I woke up with Mr. Rogers and went at 9:15.
Watch how you say that.
I woke up with Mr. Rogers, exactly. I put my sweater on, and he kicked me out. He hogged the covers. I know it's wrong, but I was a little bit leery of this film for the reason that there was a documentary that was a well-done documentary the year before.
Right.
Has nothing to do. They're both works of their own, works of art. But this piece was so moving. No, it's all right. This piece was so moving, and I agree with you. It's in my top 5 or 10 of the year.
Yeah.
It was flawless. Hanks was Mr. Rogers. You believed it right away.
Exactly.
The way they wove it into the storyline, it was absolutely about forgiveness and love. And Chris Cooper, thank you for bringing that up. One of our fine actors. Was so. I can't even speak. I had tears through the whole thing.
Me too. I did too.
It was just,
from minute 10, I had tears. It was unbelievable.
And not because no show can go without one slam on the Irishman. Where Irishman, I expected new things from Marty.
Yes.
And this film, I expected to be the same as the documentary, or they told that story.
Sure.
This is completely original. The way they told it, I was so surprised, which is the other thing. Surprise.
In fact, all right, when it first started where it was going to be the show, I'm like, what am I going to be doing here? I mean, it was a little bit like, it was like a Mr. Rogers show, and I'm like, okay, wait, what? But then it was beautiful. Okay, 2 scenes, I'm not going to wreck it, but I'm just going to mention them. Puppet scene.
Oh, yeah, the puppet scene. The puppet scene with his rabbit.
The scene in the vegetarian restaurant, Indian restaurant, wherever they were. Those 2 scenes, magic.
It's flawless. It's
magic.
I don't often say it's a perfect movie, but it's a perfect movie. If you don't like this movie...
you don't have a heart.
You don't have a heart. You don't like humanity. You should probably be locked up.
Check yourself in somewhere.
Into some neighborhood somewhere that I want to live in.
More like Eddie Murphy's Mr. Robinson.
Yeah, but Mr. Robinson. But, the thing is, the lessons that he teaches, and the fact is that he had such... He wasn't perfect.
He wasn't.
And he says
and
that.
That's what showed the movie. That's what they showed in the movie. That sort of underside of him, where he did take in everybody's grief and problems, and he had to let it out sometimes. And that was his whole the piano register, the way he evaded questions. I mean, that was beautiful.
He knew that the young man, the journalist, was hurt, by how he came at him,
Yeah.
how he wasn't a believer of kindness.
Right.
And how he addressed it was you could see that how he could be tough maybe on his own kids. He goes, it's got to be tough with
Exactly.
being Mr. And he goes, thank you for...
It was gorgeous.
It was absolutely... I could cry.
And the whole whispering in his Chris Cooper's ear at the end, like, what'd you whisper? That was gorgeous too. What his reply was.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Tom Hanks is a wonder. He is the Jimmy Stewart of our time.
He is absolutely breathtaking, and he deserves an Oscar nomination.
I agree.
The film deserves a Best Picture nomination.
I think Matthew Rhys deserves something
Matthew Rhys.
too.
Listen, I don't want to slam The Irishman, but I will because I can. If The Irishman gets any kind of award nominations, you have to match it with A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood because this is a superior film.
I agree.
Superior. There's no comparison.
Yes.
That's all I got to say. Other than that, I didn't like it.
All right. Very good. So we want to talk about Richard Jewell?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Richard Jewell, I thought was... The beginning of it was jarring to me, like, settle in, what are we doing? The characters are thrown a little too fast, but loved it at the end. I was moved. Kathy Bates was tremendous. The man who plays him has got 3 names.
Yeah, Hauser.
Love him. Paul Walter Hauser.
Yeah, he was in, if you remember, he was the heavy guy in I, Tonya.
Perfect.
Which is like, he plays this, he's a little, but
it's a doofus.
I think it's his Oscar-worthy performance.
I agree.
Nominated because you feel, and Kathy Bates, I could just cry thinking. John Hamm, who I know from Mad Men, and we all know from Mad Men, we love him for that. He's so handsome, and he plays the FBI.
He's
let's face
such a
it,
jerk.
The FBI's come under, and by the way, criticism that they should have.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Eastwood exposed this, and he used that to his advantage. Also, the media, which I've always had a problem with media not being fair and being like at the feeding frenzy.
Right.
What they did this poor man, I thought it was brilliant. Clint Eastwood showing his chops.
Yes.
At 90.
And I think, talk about the media, they did the whole backlash thing on him about the whole Olivia Wilde character, but look her up. She was wild. She was, I mean, let's face facts, people. That happens in life.
Right.
So, and I think it was political that they went after him because he does lean Republican, and they want to tie it into the whole current thing, which is not. This was a real case. This actually happened in history.
Well, it's an eye-opening thing to say. And by the way, if you criticize your country, I'm a journalist. I'm a media. I have credentials. I cover a story. I got to check my facts. I don't crucify the person.
Right.
You're innocent until you're innocent until you're proven guilty. It's due process. It's the main thing of our Constitution. I saw it with the judge that they tried to prosecute people running for president.
Yes.
Believe the woman with what, and then that story fades away.
Right.
And it's like vet your facts.
Right.
So Eastwood, who has the gravitas to put his political opinion out there, said, I'm going to cover this story because this guy died. The tragedy is...
Oh, yeah, he died young.
He died young.
Partially due to stress. You've got to believe it. I mean, can you imagine being under the gun?
And how about Sam Rockwell?
Oh, back to his sexy, intelligent self. Thank you, Jesus, for that, because I'm telling you.
Oh, was he fabulous?
He was great as a lawyer. He was great. And again, Paul Walter Hauser, to do that nuanced thing, because the guy was really naive, but yet he had this sort of sixth sense about, like, he'd almost get trapped into the FBI's entrapment.
Right. Because he's so honest.
And he didn't
because he believes in law enforcement.
He didn't have anything to hide. I mean, how about the scene where they go in his bedroom and then the weapons are all laid out?
Oh,
He's like, here they... He didn't even know, like, this was dangerous.
It was stunning.
It was beautiful.
But how they do that nuance of him. Here's a guy that believes in law and order.
Yes.
And he's really down, he's fat shamed. You're talking about people being intolerant.
Oh, my God, yes.
And I see, people that want to have their tolerance for things they believe in. If it's their plight. So because it doesn't fall in there, this is a heavy guy
Right.
who's fat shamed. They're
Right.
making jokes of. It's got to not be easy for
Right.
him, but he's a good guy. He wants to be a cop.
And he's hyper vigilant, and so
Yes.
people like push him on, like, "Oh, you're just going overboard."
Yeah, you're a climber. You
Right.
want to be famous.
Right.
I just think that Clint still has it.
I do too.
And again,
More than Scorsese.
Yeah.
I'll help you
Yeah.
out, Gus. It's been 5 minutes. We didn't talk about.
I know. I'm an Irishman. I'm an Irishman.
seriously. Hold those two movies up.
Yeah.
What moved you more?
There's a difference.
Richard Jewell.
And it's original. And the fact is that it's an original way of doing the story.
Right.
It's an original way of doing it.
Okay, very good. All right, Bombshell.
Okay.
All right, so I thought a little too much of the makeup and all that jazz. Like, I couldn't stop not trying to see Charlize. It was like maddening to me. Like, just be yourself and act. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like that line. Somebody told. Did someone tell Dustin Hoffman just act? Right? Just Charlize, just act. Like, don't try. It was too overboard. Her
Trying to
shtick.
be Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, the star of the show to me was Margot Robbie. She was tremendous.
Right.
I was moved by her character. I believed it. But what did you think?
So Megyn is harder to play because, of course, it's about her.
Right.
Margot Robbie. First of all, she's such a great actress. She's a stunning woman, and I'm not being it's like we can't even say things. Oh my God, you look nice in that dress. I'm not doing that. Stunning woman, obviously,
gorgeous.
to look at.
She is.
And I thought she was fabulous. I thought the scene where she cries, where she has that moment, and they cut back and forth. And she's out on a date. It's one of the great scenes of in the last 10 years of a female actress. I'm going to be a little easier on Megyn because I have interviewed Charlize Theron in person, and she is a stunning, beautiful woman. And I think Megyn is a really tight-lipped, good journalist who had a backstory in this, who I thought was really unfair with Trump with the first question.
Yeah.
I thought he came back the way he's come back with everything, so he's fighting back.
Right.
And he said, the line about dogs and pigs and women, and he's just Rosie O'Donnell. That's cute. That's a Trumpiest. But she had a lot of pain, and I thought she nailed her essence. I was looking to see if it was Megyn Kelly or her, so that was interesting to me. Wow. All right. I'm going to do this. Let's do this.
Hang on, we're just moving stuff around. Well, I want to keep the guacamole.
Yeah, we want to keep the guap for her.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah. No, we got it.
Okay.
We're on pause. We're on pause, right? Are we pausing?
We're pausing.
Here's the chicken. All right. That's my favorite. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you this. Thank you, Sandra.
Okay, and Charlize actually demanded to be. Oh, you know what? Do you have your mic up close enough? Charlize actually demanded for all those changes too. She said, I don't want to look in the mirror and see Charlize when I'm trying to be this person. So God bless her. She wanted those makeup and whatever changes they had to do. So that's cool.
The prosthetics.
Yeah.
Which I saw, and I watched Megyn Kelly. I think she's a great journalist. I really do.
Okay, so back to that though. My whole thing was, I agree, Megyn Kelly's amazing, but she's so steely to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like unemotional.
And that's how she is.
She's focused.
And that's how she is.
And so it was tough for me to feel something for her character. I know that's...
No, it is. It's true, though.
It's probably in real life, too. She doesn't get a lot of sympathy because she's so tough.
Well...
Or focused.
They tried to show the backstory of the husband and how... Because let's face it, she went and she did an interview with Trump after, and I thought it was a very fair interview. And listen, you can like or hate or loathe Donald Trump, but he's the most transparent president we've ever had. He's the one that's out there with his words. He's not hiding behind the thing. He's having conversations.
Right.
So he says things, and you get, he's in the Twitter world, and he's out there. And I wouldn't even go into the political thing of now with the impeachment stuff, which I think that most people couldn't take what he's gone through, and because impeachment splits the country up, and I think that they were fair to him, they were fair to her,